two-dimensional random variables. So in this two-dimensional random variable, the first we will discuss about the definition of the two-dimensional random variable. Let S be a sample space associated with a random experiment E. Let X and Y be two random variables defined on S. Then the pair X, Y is called the two-dimensional random variable. So in any experiment which deals with more than one variable, that is, let me take a two variable X and Y means such a sample space or such an experiment acts with the two-dimensional random variables. So there are two kinds of experiments I have explained earlier, that is discrete types of experiment. Another one is a continuous type of experiment. So this can be applicable for the two-dimensional experiments also, based on the outcomes, based on the sample space. So as I mentioned, that discrete mean it is a countably finite or countably infinite, whereas a continuous case mean it is countably, actually uncountably infinite. Here I have given some examples for the two-dimensional discrete random variable, that is tossing a two coin. The sample space, it should be a head-head or head-tail or tail-head or tail-tail. So here X is refers the head, number of heads. Y denotes the number of heads in the second toss. Okay, so this is how the range can be defined in a discrete case. So the jointly probability distribution is in any experiment can be dealt with the two variables. The probability of two events have defined the functions of X and Y respectively is called the probability distribution function. So this can be written in the form of like f of x comma y, which is equal to p of x less than or equal to x, y less than or equal to y. So some properties I have given here. This joint distribution function for the two random variables x and y has the several properties. Among this, the some properties I have listed here. So this is a joint probability function of discrete random variable. So for a discrete random variable, the joint probability function x and y is defined as p of x comma y is always greater than or equal to 0. The second one, sum of p of x comma y is always equal to 1. So this is called a joint, I have said. Now we need to calculate the margin. P of x, P of y can be dealt like this. Okay, and the conditional probability. So probability of x given y given x. So this is how the conditional probability function is defined. Independent. So two random variable x and y are defined to be a independent if probability of x comma y, which is equal to probability of x into probability of y. If x and y are discrete case, then this is the method where y given x given y is the conditional probability. So finally we can say marginal distribution, which is equivalent to condition distribution. Here I have given some example for the discrete case of marginal, how to find the marginal distribution of x and marginal distribution of y. So this is a two-dimensional continuous random variable. So far we have discussed the discrete case, now it is a continuous one. If x comma y can be assumed all values in a specified region R in xy plane, then x comma y is called a two-dimensional random variable. So this is a jointly probability distribution of a continuous case. This is a continuous random variable case. This is how the marginal distribution is obtained from the continuous case. The conditional, now independent. So these are all the formulas which you are going to use for the multiplication. Okay, some examples I have posted here, how to calculate the marginal conditional in both the discrete and continuous cases. So next one is a transformation. So the x and y can be transformed into a u and v. Now covariance between x and y, that is, in the first unit we have dealt with the variance of x and variance of y, whereas now it is a covariance, because in this experiment we are going to take both the variables at a time, x and y. Therefore we need to find the covariance. If the covariance equal to 0 means then the variables are independent, and if the covariance value is a positive mean, then x and y are large. If the covariance value is negative mean, then x with the y, that is, x is smaller than y and y is smaller than x, vice versa. Okay, so this is a formula similar to our familiar variance formula, covariance of xy, which is equal to expectation of xy minus expectation of x into expectation of y. So this is the correlation coefficient. This is the formula which you are going to use for the correlation coefficient of x comma y. Covariance of x comma y divided by sigma x sigma y, that is root of variance of x, root of variance of y. This is a transformation of two-dimensional random variable. So we will use the formula, the Jacobian transformation we can apply for transforming the xy into uv. So here I have given some examples, and the last topic of this unit is central limit theorem. So if we are going to take a finite number of random sample, x bar is the sample mean of a random sample of size n arising from the population random variable x with the mean mu and the variance sigma square, then for any epsilon greater than 0 the following equality is true. So this is a central limit theorem, and some examples I have given here. Thank you.